Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your hosts Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, maybe you'll cry. Today we may cry because of the laughing. But then if you're going to hate on our takes, just wait and don't let us know unless it's been 3 days. You can do that by emailing us at the podcast number 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com or check us out on socials, MySpace,
LinkedIn,
all those that you did everybody up on. So, hey, Justin, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Happy Halloween week.
Yeah, it's Happy Halloween week, and last week of the month. It's going to be good. It's good. So we got a special episode. We're just going to jump right in because I know he's itching to get going. So it has been really cool. A couple months ago, we had my old youth leader on, Phil Gonzalez, and what a blessing he has been to my life. But I found out later that his son Josh was the one that set up his computer and got him ready to go for that night because he didn't know what he was doing. And so he told me that Josh got him all ready to go. So I said, well, we got to have Josh on. So Josh Gonzalez is joining us tonight. Josh, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm excited to be on with you guys.
Yeah, this is exciting. So
I'm scared. I know nothing about Josh. Josh has heard everything about me. And the rumor is he's got this book of like notes and questions that I don't know. I'm scared.
So let me kind of just set the stage for us a little bit. So those of you that have listened to the podcast, you know that my dad's a pastor. I've moved around a lot. We spent a lot of time in Pueblo, Colorado, 7.5 years there. And while we were there, got to know Josh and his family. And Phil was our youth leader, his dad, and Barb, his mom, just incredible people, incredible family. And Josh and I played a lot of basketball together, a lot of football together, gym class together. We're going to get into some of these stories. And so, but then I'll tell you this, I've probably said this on the podcast, but leaving Pueblo was the hardest move for me in my life. It was the hardest move. And it was because of people like Josh and his family and all of the people there. And so I'm so glad Josh joined us tonight. I'm so excited to have him on with us. But Josh was like, Justin, it was kind of like, but you guys probably you don't even care about this, but I don't want to cause any problems. But like I was 13, 14 years old when we moved from Pueblo to Lincoln in 1997. And there was kind of a passing of the people in Pueblo loved us so well that they kind of wanted us to make sure we left well and landed well in Nebraska. And it was kind of like we took the friendship from Josh and moved it into Justin. And just there's so many commonalities. I know you guys don't know each other, but this is going to be so much fun because there's so much common ground here. So I'm excited for it. But I just want to say to both of you, we'll get sappy here for a minute. I just love you guys both. I'm so thankful for you and the influence you have in my life. So thank you guys for being in my life.
Thanks, man. That's the nicest thing you said to me today.
Yeah.
No,
you say a lot of kind things. Thank you.
Just from listening to the podcast from you guys, I can see that. I mean, what you just said right there makes perfect sense. I mean, it feels like you left Pueblo and you went and you met Justin and it just kind of picked up where you left off here. So it makes sense. It sounds just from what we hear on the podcast.
That's cool.
You know, this is also the week of the famous October snowstorm that you guys came like right afterwards from the cleanup.
I know. I just saw that on Facebook. I saw that because I remember we got there in November.
Yeah.
And you guys were all talking about how crazy it was in October. And I just saw on Facebook, this was the anniversary, 1997, when we moved to Lincoln, Nebraska. So.
Sorry. It's like we're literally a day off. It happened yesterday in 1997. So.
Yep. Crazy.
Well, I have to ask a question right off the bat. In case the conversation steers in this direction, I need to know, are we dropping the big MFer, or are we just going to call it Pee-wee football?
Pee-wee?
I've never heard it called that before.
You never heard it called midget football before?
No, ever.
Oh, man.
So-
That's what they called it here in Lincoln forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, never heard of it.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's funny because that's all perspective, right? I mean, they had Pee Wee football in Pueblo, and I remember when I played football for Heaton, and we played on the same field over. I think it was the Freed Middle School football field, but they had the Pee Wee games there on that field, if I'm not mistaken. Like they would go sideways though, the 50 yards sideways, and there'd be like 3 games going at once. But yeah, it is. When we moved to Lincoln, they said midget football, and I thought this will be fun to watch.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't know. Now they call it Lincoln Youth Football. They don't call it even Pee Wee. Yeah. Hey,
Well,
you're right.
We went and watched you once when you were playing at Freed, when you were playing for Heaton, and after the game, you came up to me and you looked at me. I think you had borrowed some. I think I gave you my hand-me-down shoulder pads or something. And
Pads, yeah.
Like, man, those pads are really good. And then you told me, you know what? You got a football neck. And I'm like, what does that mean?
You got a football. Well, I mean,
football neck, and you're like, yeah, you got a good neck for playing football. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a strong neck.
Josh, you were one of the reasons. I mean, because you were older than me, so you were 2 years older than me, right? You were 8th grader when I was a 6th grader. We talked about that a little bit. And then when you went to Central, you played freshman football, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so you played football, and then I played football coming into Heaton when they played. And yeah, you gave me your hand-me-down pads, and I remember I think you gave me 2 sets because my brother and I would we would go out into I don't know if you remember our backyard. There was nothing but like rocks and gravel, and then we had the swimming pool. But my dad had this strip of yard that he put turf in, like not like artificial turf, but sod. He sodded the side part by the fence, and he like watered that meticulously and wanted that to be. I'm like, why are you just doing this one stretch of yard, you know? And Brady and I would get out there with these pads that you let us borrow, and Brady's so much smaller than I am, and we would just hit each other. We would go at it, but yeah, I was using your pads at Heaton for sure. And here's the other story: at Heaton in middle school, we had to weigh in to be able to play. Like we had to weigh in at registration to be heavy enough. I didn't weigh enough. No. Just at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I didn't weigh enough, and one of my neighbor kid friends told me to put a 5-pound weight in my pocket so that I would be heavy enough to play. So that's what I did to register. I put a weight in my pocket so I could play for Heaton.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yep. Such a Pee-wee you are.
Yeah. We go from PW to MF to we have to be PC about it and youth football. So.
Whatever. Yeah, that's what it was. Called it for years. I still call it that, obviously. So.
Yeah. And I saw I saw somebody else post today that was today the championship Sunday in Lincoln for that. Was it at Seacrest Field for?
It was. Yep. Brenton's team, they lost in the semifinals last week. And I think so did their top team. Lost in the semifinals too. So, but yeah, it was. They like even live stream it. On whatever they use there. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, they play that at Seacrest.
Yep.
It's kind of fun
so
for the kids.
I got a question for you then, Josh. Speaking of football, how long did you play football all 4 years in high school?
I didn't play my sophomore year, but I did my junior, senior year.
Okay. So one of the things our listeners don't realize, and so Josh, this is something when we moved to Lincoln, one of the things that I said to the counselor when they were putting my schedule together was I asked them, I said, who's the rival school in Lincoln? And I went to Lincoln East and they were like, we have all these different city schools or, they were very PC about it. They didn't really say anything, but I was like, well, where I came from it was Centennial versus Central, it was East versus South, it was the Cannon game and the Bell game and all of that stuff. So you got to play in a couple Bell games then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We lost my junior year, and then we pulled out I think we won by like 14 my senior year, so that was pretty cool. Winning the Bell game and for your senior year is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Those were crazy games, Justin. We had a kind of like Seacrest is in Lincoln. It was the kind of the district field, Dutch Clark Stadium, and those two games, the Cannon game and the Bell game. I mean, it was sellouts, and the whole town. You were one side or the other. It was no in between.
Did you say Dutch Oven Stadium or Dutch Clark? What'd you say? I just shooken.
Wasn't it? Isn't that what it's called, Dutch Clark Stadium?
Dutch Clark Stadium, named after Dutch Clark. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. Now I feel bad.
You should.
Yeah. Gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get kicked out. I'm never gonna be allowed in Colorado ever again.
Yeah.
Or at least the exit to Pueblo.
Yeah. Well, good. Josh, you said you've got a list of notes for us. I'm a little nervous as well. I don't know what you got up your sleeve, but Justin usually has a question for all of our guests. Justin, you want to ask?
I'm not gonna do that anymore.
You weren't going to do that anymore?
No.
But this is one you should do it on.
I know. So, yes, I'm famously been made fun of, poked at, about asking people how often they listen to our podcast, or if they're an every week listener, or every, once in a while, or they see a reel or an Instagram reel or a YouTube short. So, Josh, how often have you listened to our podcast?
Pretty much up to date from beginning to end.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So,
I might have little bits and pieces here and there, but
yeah,
every episode.
That's awesome.
From the first one to last week.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you for listening. We used to, as you know from the early ones, we kind of talked about our viewership early on, but we just kind of looked at it the last couple of weeks and we didn't say anything on air, but continues to grow surprisingly.
Staying steady, which is
so that's pretty cool. So
so that was one of my questions I was going to ask you about listener and where you were at. And then I was wanting to know some of the background stuff, like after you hit end recording, what happens? What do you have to do to go into uploading? And how come we still don't? You guys are supposed to be trying to catch up with those Kelsey boys, and we're supposed to have video.
Yeah. Well,
I'm waiting on the videos to come out, podcasting videos. I'm just wondering why they're not there yet.
I don't know why.
Well,
no, I mean, video, I don't care. I mean, we can do video at any point, to be honest with you.
No. Because the reason we don't do video is because last week I sat here in my bathroom.
He did. 100%. And he kept on opening up his. I don't know if he was showing Heidi on the other side of the camera or me. I couldn't. I was like, all right, we'll go with it. So,
the listeners know we were talking about our nipples before the
recording. We were. Yep. We were. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Something about a FedEx commercial. Just a heads up, everybody. I guess there's a FedEx commercial out there about somebody's nipples or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But now I'm gonna go look for it. So, but no, behind the scenes, when we hit stop, I just go and take the audio and cut out the back end and the front, or the front end and the back end of the audio, because that has a little bit of our talking before the music kicks in. And really, everybody's getting just everything raw. Like, there is no editing of anything. I might increase somebody's audio from the original recording. But I have to find the certain areas where people were not loud enough, and I can increase their audio a little bit through the studio. But otherwise, I just export it, and then I just get it ready to upload, and I throw it on to one website that puts it out on multiple platforms in one click, and then I sit and try to figure out if I want to do a reel or a YouTube short out of it to kind of gain some traction. So I kind of do all that stuff on the back ends and get it ready for. Depends on what night we record on. We've been fluctuating. We've been kind of leaving ourselves a window to record on different nights. So, but every Tuesday night I upload it about 11 o'clock, midnight, and that way it's ready to go out Wednesday or sometime in that range. So.
And the other reason we're not caught up to our competitors, the Kelsey brothers, is we don't have Amazon paying for it. I'd love if Amazon would pay me $100 million to do a podcast. Shoot, yeah, I would. That'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, we've always. I don't know why I'm scared even about video. Like, to me, it's all about like making sure that we have the proper technology. I'm kind of a stickler about. I know I say these things are like raw and we just put them out, but I am kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the audio and sounding. Like last week, we probably spent 20 minutes trying to figure out our stupid microphones because it just wasn't. I just want to go put out a good production, even though it's pretty raw on everything we do. So that's probably where I want to make sure that if we do video that we're both, we both have the same quality of internet at the same time, the person on the other, all those little things play into it. And plus it's a bigger file to upload to. Doing video, going to YouTube would be easy, but then all the other places I would have to export just audio only. So there's little things like that, but nothing that I'm not scared of. It just depends on what time I want to go to bed. So
Yeah.
we could start doing video. I'll just go to bed at like 3 a.m, and we'll be good. Yep.
What?
We don't need sleep.
Sleep schmeep.
Sleep.
Sleep
Oh
schmeep.
God. It's a good question though. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a team of people like other people do. So I mean,
Yeah.
there
Justin's
are
our team. Justin's our techie. Justin has a background. I mean, when we were in high school, he was running sound. For fun, he had soundboards in his room or something. I mean, he had soundboards for everything. But yeah, he's been doing sound and production for a long time, and so he's the producer on the show, the editor. I just bring all the great content, and people can laugh at me, and he gets to do it, put it all together.
I try my best. So, but yeah, no, it's like I said, we just do it for fun, and it'd be awesome to have a whole team that's just making clips and stuff in 5 seconds and put it out before our episode even airs. So, but that's not how that happened.
Yeah.
Plus, I work a full-time job, so I
I
don't have time to do all that.
We can't quit our day job except for me, but yeah, it's all good.
Oh. I don't remember what episode it was, but I was telling you guys before that I usually listen to you guys while I'm walking to work. And I don't remember what episode it was, but there was this. I thought my headphones died. And there was this radio silence, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kendrick Lamar comes on full blast.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? I don't know if it was on the episode or if my phone messed up and it just jumped to something else.
Yeah, that was an edit that I did because I don't remember what happened in that episode, but we lost part of the recording or something happened and we had technical difficulties, and I was going to put in a technical difficulties, but I was messing around with different audio and I thought that would be kind of fun, and then put that static in it to kind of make it sound like it. So I do some fun things like that sometimes. If we have something where I know the episode we had a spot where we lost. The other thing too is I just use a free studio, so we get one good recording. So I can't. Whereas, like, if we had a paid studio, I would have your recording separate, I have BJ's recording separate, mine, and then if we ever lost, like, if you fell off the podcast because your internet went down or something, it wouldn't affect what BJ and I are doing. from an audio standpoint, I can mix it all together and
Well,
all that stuff. So
as my podcasting hero says, we've just lost all our listeners after talking about this. Nobody stopped
no,
listening.
it's a question. It's a question from the See, he
Yeah.
didn't email
we
it.
need
He
to
was
move.
like,
Yeah, we need to move to something else like hockey or something that people care about. No, I'm just kidding.
hockey. All right.
WNBA. Yeah.
I have another one. I have another
Go ahead.
question. You guys
Go ahead.
both have kids. I have a daughter. This is kind of a fatherhood related question, but you guys have seen those clips on like YouTube or whatever where dads go full on super dad. The one that sticks out in my head is like stroller gets out of control and is rolling down a hill, and the dad sprints down after it and catches it before it was. I don't remember. It was going to crash into something or something. I was just wondering if you guys ever had a super dad moment.
Probably catching a kid off of a bed or a couch, like stumbling off, like you've seen. A super dad moment.
Well, I mean, as you've had time to think about this, Josh, maybe you have one you could tell us of your super dad while we think of ours.
Sure. I have two specific ones. Justin kind of mentioned this one. When my daughter was about 3, we were over at my parents' house, and my dad built this bed frame, and it stands, I don't know, 3.5 to 4 feet off the ground. And so she was jumping around on the bed, being a kid, jumping up and down, and she had a pair of overalls on. And she jumped and she bounced off the bed weird. She like landed on the mattress weird and started to shoot off the other side, the opposite side of where I was at. And I don't know how I did it, but I was able to, from my side of the bed, jump across the bed. And as she's falling, this was in their basement, so there was a real hard concrete floor down there. I was able to grab her by her overall straps on the back. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible, where he's in the room and he's just suspended there with his arms. She was inches from the floor as I caught her, and that's how she was suspended out on the, like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. And I don't know how I did it. I mean, it was just a super dad moment, just able to catch her before she fell out and bonked her head like 4 feet off the ground.
I think might have been a bed or a couch, to be honest with you, because in our first house we lived in had original hardwood floors. But what are you laughing at, BJ?
You want to tell? I'll tell you my super dad story.
Go ahead.
We were living in Kansas City at the time, and Elliot was probably 2, maybe. So he was in this umbrella stroller, but he's wanting to go and run and do everything else. Ian's running ahead of him. Emma's probably on her bike or something. Well, we're walking up the sidewalk, and he goes like trying to jump out of the stroller, even though he's strapped in. And so the stroller is like tipping over, and he's going head first out of the stroller. Well, my super dad moment was I just watched it.
Oh, yeah.
He hit his head and had a concussion and had a big old knot in his head.
Lesson learned, huh?
I don't, and so my son, I'm going to brag on my son here for a minute, because the same kid he probably had 5 concussions before he was 5 because of my lack of super dad moments. But if you noticed his Instagram, if you follow him on Instagram at all, he swore in this weekend to the Air Force, and so the concussions haven't stopped him. He tested really, really high on his tests and swore in to the Air Force this weekend, and so he's less than 9 months, and he'll be out of here. But so really proud of Elliot. My lack of super dad moments hasn't derailed him too bad. So
that's awesome.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Elliot.
Well, speaking of kids, Josh, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your family. Tell us about where life has brought you since 1997.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I've been married for 22 years. My wife's name's Bridget. She works at Fort Carson. She works at the eye clinic in the hospital at Fort Carson. And my daughter, she is 23. Yeah, her name's Taya. She's teaching at one of a church, started a school here. So she's teaching at the church school. And I work at an engineering company. I like what I do. I get to do a lot of cool designs and stuff. A lot of times it's pretty high stress, but I like what I do.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Josh was very creative, just like his dad. I remember sitting in the back of the church on Sunday night church services, and we'd sit back there and draw. Josh is very artistic, and he's the one that we can segue this into some other stuff too, but he'd sit there and draw like football players and just vivid pictures of these, but he was always putting these lions on there and like the number 20, and it's like, man,
what is it, a little Barry Sanders fan?
Little Barry Sanders, and
there you go.
Yeah. So we were talking about Dutch Clark earlier. He was a Lion. He played for the Lions. So that was kind of cool that that I discovered the Lions in early 1990 because of Barry Sanders, and I've kind of been a Lions fan ever since.
So Barry Sanders,
still go Broncos, but Lions right there.
Yeah. Barry Sanders is from Wichita, Kansas, and when we moved from Lincoln, where my parents moved from Lincoln, they moved to Wichita. And so when I followed them a little bit later and went to Wichita. And Barry Sanders talk about youth football. He sponsors all of the youth football fields in Wichita. And so they're all like after Barry Sanders. And then he went to Oklahoma State, and that was down in there as well. But every time I see it, and now I was telling Josh this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking or whatever, but one of my sons, Ronnie, he's changed his allegiance in football, and he used to be a Chiefs fan, so we're thankful that he's changed his allegiance.
Yes, hallelujah.
He is now a Lions fan, and he's got all the gear. He's got a new hat, and he's got a jersey, and so
why did he choose the Lions?
That's a great question. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't know what prompted it. I think it's because he did get a PlayStation for his room, and so he's been playing like one of the old Madden games, and for some reason he started playing with the Lions, and he likes the Lions, and so but he got a Jared Goff jersey, so he's like ready to go.
All about it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yep. He tells me every week who the Lions are playing, so I know who the Lions are playing. Well, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing with us. I got some questions for you. I talked to my brother a little bit about like growing up as the son of a pastor. We got to hear my dad share stories from the pulpit about like stories that affected us, and we got to hear them. And then when I went into ministry, I would use illustrations of growing up and how I remembered it. And then Brady would share the same story, but his perspective, and it was different than my perspective. And I remember listening to Brady preach one time early on when he started preaching. I'm like, man, I don't remember it that way at all. So I'm just curious. We spent 7.5 years together in Pueblo. Your dad was the youth leader doing a bunch of crazy stuff with us teens. And what do you remember? What were some
when you picked up that hooker? Oh, sorry. That's not where you're going with that. Hey, I'm not the one that said it.
Yeah. What memories do you have of some of those moments with your dad leading the youth group and being around the church? Good, bad? Like, did you enjoy that your dad was as involved as he was? I don't mean for you to throw anybody under the bus, but just to be real, like, what were some of the struggles you had with your dad being so involved with the church?
At the time, yeah. Sometimes it was kind of hard, because he put so much into it. But looking back, it's completely different. In the moment, I think I felt like that, where you know, he just gave so much to, and there was he just driving the van and then having to do the sermons, and that it kind of weighed on me a little bit. Looking back now, I'm super proud. You can't ever fill those shoes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'm so thankful. I know, like, I know what it took to, like, watch my dad not. My dad's a great dad, and he did all that he could to support us kids. But I remember vividly one time, and I gave a shout out to your dad for this one, but I think it wasn't Father's Day weekend, but there was a weekend I wasn't supposed to play sports on Sundays, and I've shared this story before, but so my dad I was supposed to pitch and
hmm
that game, and my dad just said, "Yeah, you can go pitch," but it was a Sunday afternoon. He's like, "I'm not going to be there." And he was making a point, and I understand why. Looking back, like you said, looking back, you're like, yeah, I get it now. But
hmm
your dad showed up, and your dad was there, and to watch me pitch, and I'll never forget that. And so I know the sacrifice he made and how that probably affected you guys. I didn't mean to put you on the spot in a bad way, but
No,
I'm just so thankful, Josh, for the commitment and the sacrifice that you and Tessa made, and your mom, to allow your dad to be as involved as he was. And as you shared some pictures with me just recently, you guys kind of had a little reunion of some of the youth group people, and the amount of lives that your dad influenced through that youth group
yeah, for sure.
is crazy.
Yeah,
It's so
it's a
good.
lot.
So yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and just to expand on it a little bit more, having him there was completely. I think would have been completely different if he wasn't there. For me personally, um, we got to do a lot more with the youth group. I don't know if I would have been able. I don't know if I've been able to, but maybe not have been involved as much as if he wasn't there. And he wasn't doing what he was doing. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was just living in the moment. Good and bad at the same time as
yeah,
as a kid. You know, but looking back now, it's just super proud just to call him dad.
that's cool.
Just, but maybe you heard the episode or not, but my dad taught Sunday school classes, and I'd get kicked out of Sunday school classes.
Yeah,
Did your dad ever kick you out of anything because you didn't listen, or were you just a perfect angel and I'm the
yeah.
only bad one?
I don't ever remember getting kicked out. I'm sure at some point I definitely got a really stern looking at.
Oh,
Kind of knock that off. We're gonna have something. I don't remember ever getting kicked out, but
okay,
I can't say that it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities.
yeah.
Did you get any car ride home talking tos after Wednesday night or Sunday night or?
No, not that I remember. I do remember one funny moment though, and it was after church, and I don't remember why we were coming home so late, but I was exhausted, and I don't know why, but we were almost home, and I zoned in on the car in front of us, and the person in the driver's side seat threw out a cigarette. Well, in my mind, for some reason, I was so tired and kind of delusional. I thought it was a firecracker. I don't know, it was like November. And I don't know why, but I leaned over expecting the firecracker to go off underneath the car. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I don't know. I don't know why I'm leaning over. I thought that was a firecracker and was going to blow the truck up. I don't know."
Uh, so, what were some of your favorite memories of being in the youth group? Like, what were some of your favorite events that we went to, or what were some of those things that just stick out in your mind?
Man, I don't know. I always liked after Sunday service, getting to hang out. You guys were always staying late, getting to play basketball in the gym. If it wasn't basketball, we were doing something physical, something sports related in the gym. Retreat was always fun. Tubing at Beulah Hill. I remember one specific time when it had snowed. It was pretty deep. I don't remember if it was a Saturday or if it was after church, but we went over to your house and we went to East. Remember making that huge snowball?
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then we pushed it down the hill.
Yeah. That's what made it so big. We had this hill at East was I don't know how high that hill was, but we rolled this down the hill, and then it was this huge. And then we hollowed it out, if I remember right. We built a tunnel through it, so I mean it was over 7 feet tall. And then we dug out the inside, and we had this huge tunnel, and it was insane. That was awesome.
Did you get inside of it and roll down the hill?
No, we couldn't move it.
Bottom of the hill, wasn't it?
That was at the bottom. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But do you remember when we went tubing behind the motorcycle when you guys lived in that house that was that round house that had that field back there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think my life flashed before my eyes when your dad was driving us on that motorcycle, and there was this concrete slab we were headed straight for. Like, what?
It sounds just like something my dad would do with a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Let's take kids on tubing behind. That's awesome.
So,
go ahead.
Listening to the podcast when you were talking and you had your dad on, and you guys were talking about all the games and stuff you would make for church and stuff. When we had I sent you the picture of the reunion we had a couple weeks ago. Lucy brought up this that I had completely forgot about. But were you there when he dressed up? This is okay. Basically, The Office. Remember Prison Mike from The Office when he dressed up as Prison Mike? They got that idea from my dad. You remember him dressing up as Juan, the Cholo Juan 2-3? Yeah,
oh my god!
With a bandana on. I had forgotten all about that, but Lucy brought it up, and it made me laugh because I had completely forgot about it. But yeah,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh man, I don't remember 1, 2, 3, but I remember when he dressed up as Mary.
Yeah, and that was the other one, Mary.
Yeah,
he dressed up as Mary.
Yeah. So what's crazy is so there was another one of our friends in that youth group was Lynette, and Lynette's grandpa used to pastor that church. And Ray Hawkins was an incredible pastor, children's pastor. He just was so creative, such an incredible man of God. But his whole deal was he would dress up as these Bible characters. Like he would dress up as Moses and have the beard and do all the things. He went the whole 9. Well, then Phil would dress up as these characters and these different things, and it was to prove a point. I don't remember 1, 2, 3. That, oh my gosh, that would have been. I wish I had some memories of that one, but I remember one. I don't know that we even listened to the story when he dressed up as Mary. He goes, oh my word!
Was that your inspiration of wearing a dress? Then later on in life, BJ?
Hey! That's a low blow. No,
I did.
Neat. I shouldn't admit this, but he was also. Your dad was the inspiration. I dressed up as. I don't think I dressed up as Queen Esther, but I was one of the other people in that story, and I dressed up during that. We did a VBS deal, and I dressed up for every night, each character, but I was not Queen Esther. But I thought that would go a little bit too far. I probably would have got fired for that one. But you could pull it off in the early 90s. Couldn't pull it off in the early
a lot
2000s.
of things in the 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
I think, I'm trying to remember. I don't even think I was in the youth group yet. But your dad came up when we went to retreat one year and dressed up as the devil and did a whole sermon dressed up as the devil, had the horns and everything. And it was dark. I mean, it was a dark message. Like, with all the lights were off, I think, for up where he was at, and he was dancing around, and I remember him jumping up and down. Yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty heavy sermon as he's dressed up as the devil.
Yeah, he came out. So like we were there. We came up with him that weekend and for that service, and so my mom did his makeup. Like he would paint his face, and he had this red jumpsuit and the horns and the tail, and it was dark. And then he came out to a Carmen song, Carmen, and the sound was way up, and it was. And then he spent the whole message just like what the devil would do, just beating everybody up and dogging them, and then he went off and came back as and tried to bring the good news after that. But that was my dad. That was his one dress up. That was his dress up for a message. He dressed up for some Halloween things that were a little bit off the kilter. But those were pretty. That was a good weekend. I remember being there. That was cool because I was really young, and we got to go to retreat. And I think Larry and Barb were the youth pastors then. And so that was a big reach. I think there were a lot of people there, if I remember right. We were in that amphitheater part of Horn Creek, and that's when your dad first asked me to preach retreat, and I came back after we'd moved away, and I came and preached. We were in that same amphitheater setting for our services. That was pretty cool. But yeah,
I wish I would have known that story before. I could have had a Carmen song. I haven't listened to Carmen for, I don't know. What song was it? Do you remember?
If I heard it, I would know it, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was pretty. And Carmen was one of the best talk singers before Gloria Gaither ever came on the scene. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yep. There you go. That's cool. Well, we came back. One of the things Josh and I did, like I said, we played a lot of sports together, gym class, but Josh and I, whether it was football or basketball after church or whatever it was, we were always, it was like we were connected without being connected. It was a lot of fun. Do you remember playing basketball at, was it Fun Putter Park?
Mm-hmm.
And we'd go over there and we'd like just take over the 3 basketball hoops there, and that was pretty fun too.
You guys took over 3 basketball hoops with 2 of you?
Well, there was a big group of us. We kind of just went in there and took over their basketball area.
Have you ever played basketball on ice before?
Not outside, Josh. Not outside. No.
Okay.
But it was crazy because Josh and I, we would always. It was like we knew. We just had this synergy on the court when we were playing together. And then when we moved away, I started playing with Justin and doing things with Justin. But then I went back. I don't know if you remember this retreat. We went back for retreat to visit. I wasn't preaching this one, and we were in the gym at Horn Creek. And it was like we never skipped a beat. And I remember Dave Kistner was there. And like it'd been a couple years since we'd been back to Pueblo, and we're there at retreat. And I remember you and I got on the court, and I think we were playing like a 3-on-3 tournament or something. Can't remember what it was, but it was you and me, and we were on the same team, and we got all the way to the finals. And like Dave got mad because we just were like so in sync, and he's like, "What the heck? How can you guys do this?" And behind the back looks, and it was pretty crazy. But Josh and I it was like we knew where the other was going to be at all times. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and just to be able to pick that up after years is something.
Yeah, that was fun. Were you there the night after? I think it was after church one night, and your dad got out one of the tables. They were doing something in the gym, and they had the table set up, but he put the table and he made a ramp on the table so we could run up the table and dunk it.
Might have been.
Well, I remember your dad I think he about died that night because my sister went up the ramp and she dunked it, and she was so little, and she hung on the rim, but she swung through and let go,
And fell
and
on her back.
she fell on her back. And I remember your dad telling me, he's like, "Man, I thought your dad was going to kill me." That one.
Well, you were talking about suspenders or overalls, and
Yeah.
I remember I've got a funny story about picking up Beth by her overalls. Remember that, carrying around in your living room? Sorry, segue.
Yeah, I think my dad was about to kill you that night too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Oh man. Yeah, good memories for sure. We had some good times. Were you ever the subject of a dog pile?
Good question. Good hard-hitting question.
Maybe once. Maybe once. But I remember being near the bottom a lot of times, but I don't remember. There might have been once that I was the one in the aim in the sights. But yeah, I remember being at the bottom a lot, near the bottom a lot. Yeah, always the dog piles.
Yeah, those were crazy.
I do remember one time there was a full-blown pile, and I remember jumping. I felt like I was jumping like 10 feet in the air just to get up on top, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If you got into it late, you were happy to jump on top of the pile. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a night we were driving around on the van. I can't remember where we were going, but you and me and Randy were sitting in the back row of the van, and we started singing "Lean on Me." You remember that? And the three of us guys, like we were not at the time. We didn't. I mean, especially Randy. I mean, he wouldn't sing. He wouldn't be anything to put himself out there. But we started harmonizing. And I remember Lucy and Lynette, and they turned around and be like, "What are you guys doing?" I just remember we like shocked the whole van because we were sitting back there singing DC Talk. But yeah.
It must have been really good, though.
Yeah. We made DC Talk sweat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
If only it was now, you could have gone viral.
That's right. Yeah. If it was now, can you imagine us doing that now?
Oh man. Immediately canceled.
Oh, I would be in so much trouble. All the stuff that BJ got me involved in.
Whatever.
Running from cops and stealing borrowing golf clubs.
I had nothing to do with that.
Whatever.
So
it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
I asked you when you first called and kind of talking about stuff, and you guys talk a lot about TPing houses.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was a van full of kids, and I don't remember what we were doing. And you guys kind of hinted at Tim being an instigator of stuff.
100%.
My dad, we were going to TP somebody's house. I don't remember who, but my dad said, "You know what? I got an idea. Let's go TP this fountain in City Park." So it was late at night. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Van full of teen kids. My dad pulls off in the side road in City Park, and as we're walking over to the fountain, we get hit with a high beam. The cop goes, "What are you guys doing?" And so the cop starts walking over to us. He's like, "What are you doing?" So all the kids start hum-hawing around. So he starts asking, he goes, "Well, how old are you?" And the first kid says, "Well, I'm 15. And looks at the next kid. "I'm 15. The next kid, "I'm 17. Goes around 18. It gets up to like 20. Then the light gets to my dad. "How old are you?" 45.
Yeah, that would definitely be.
So then he goes, "Well, the park's closed. You guys aren't supposed to be in here. We all have toilet paper stashed behind our back and flashing the flashlight in our face."
That's
So
crazy.
we get in the van. I was thinking while I was standing there, I'm like, man, we just got BJ arrested. Rod's gonna be so mad. We're trying to TP the fountain in City Park.
Oh man.
We never did cheap. We used to. I don't think BJ, you were there when we did TPing, when we did fireworks with it at the same time to wake people up so they'd come out and see it right away. Did you ever do that with
I think
us?
one time we did that where we set
Jeez.
off some fireworks so they would, and then the lights turned on and we ran.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't
This
do that.
still
Dumb
the
ring cameras.
the best one was when we were with you, Justin. Was when we were TPing. I think it was the Leffler's house, and somebody opens their window and turns on their light and says, "What are you doing?" Somebody was like, I think they were in the tree, wasn't it? Somebody was in the tree getting ready to throw. Like,
Yes,
this is a dream. Go back to sleep.
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
remember being. I think you were too old for this one, Justin. We went to TP. We had a guy and girl sleepover one night at different places. So different. The guys were at one house.
And
The
you went to go
girls were
TP each other's
at
houses.
the underground.
Yeah.
At the church. And the guys ended up. We got in trouble for this one. We went over to the underground and we TP'd the backyard, and then we banged on the window down there. And when they turned on the light to look outside, we stood on the brick wall there at the time, and
Yeah.
we were all mooning them. And so there was like,
Oh yeah, no, I definitely was not there.
no, yeah, there was like
Yeah.
15 of us guys, and we
No,
all
it
dropped
wasn't.
trow and mooned them, and that didn't go well. But here's the follow up to that. Okay, so I was probably junior or senior, right? Well, then I'm a youth pastor. So fast forward another few years, I'm a youth pastor, and we're at this event where we took our teens to an amusement park. It was like Josh, when we went to like Nazarene night at Elitch's. You remember that? Did you ever? So it was kind of like that, where we went to this deal and we're leaving the parking lot of this amusement park, and it's midnight or whatever. And one of the kids in the van, he's like, "Hey, Pastor BJ, just honk the horn as loud as you can." So I'm honking the horn, just trying to play along. He's got his butt cheeks on the window, mooning this car next to us. And his dad is one of my sponsors, and he's sitting in the passenger. He's like, his dad looks at me all serious. He's like, "What are you going to do about it?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can't do anything about this because I did the same thing when I was his age."
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes back to bite you sometimes.
Yeah. Happens with being parents too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talking about City Park, I have a question. In Nebraska, do you guys deal with Miller moths?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you don't have them out there on the coast, right, BJ?
Not really. It's definitely, if there are, it's very rare, but yeah, not really. No.
So in college, I'm not a golfer, but I got pretty good at disc golf, and they have a pretty decent course at City Park. And so we were playing one time, and there was this huge group. I don't remember how many people were there. There was a lot, and it was Miller season, and they would gather in the trees in City Park. And I mean, when I say gather, there's a lot of Miller moths.
Thousands of them, probably.
Yes. And so we're walking to the next hole, and we're all headed into this where there's two trees, and it kind of made a bottleneck. And I'm kind of in the front of this huge group of people. So I thought to myself, this is going to be hilarious. So as we're walking, I bent down and picked up two sticks. And I bottleneck through these two trees. And as I get past, I keep walking and I throw these two sticks up back behind me, and they go up into the trees. Just as this huge group of people are walking through the trees, I'm not joking you when I say it literally was a cloud of Millers that come out of the trees. And just all these people, they just disappeared, and all you could hear was screaming. People were running. And this cloud of Miller moths just engulfed them.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever been around that many before.
Oh, we get them bad here. There's like about a 3-week period in like early spring where they're just relentless.
Well, speaking of all of our fun times, before we get into our sports picks for the night, we always, Josh mentioned this before the show. We mentioned that we have a guest on. They usually don't know if we can make it an hour or not, but we're already there. So
Hey,
good
good
job
job.
again. And I have a feeling we haven't even got to all the stuff on Josh's page yet. But Josh, what else do you have that you'd just love to share with the world?
Well, do we want to throw Brady under the bus right now?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he hasn't answered my text messages in a while.
So as you guys say on your podcast, he's not here to defend himself. So let's go for it, right? Let's talk bad about him.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so I don't know. We had to be, I don't know, 12, 11 probably. And I spent the night over at your house. And we were doing the, boy thing where we're out playing video games. And man, I think we were playing all the sports games. I remember NBA Jam and probably baseball. I'm sure we had a football game in there, probably did Madden or something. But Brady was running around in the background doing the little brother thing, waiting his turn to play. And I don't know if we were being very generous and letting him play too often or not. And so as the night goes on, Brady would lose a piece of clothing here and there. So it first started off and he was missing his shirt. And so we keep playing video games. And then his socks and his shoes were off a little bit longer. Then his pants were off. And Brady's running around just, I don't know what he was doing in the background the whole time. But he was in it just his underwear. And so we keep playing video games.
He was on fire like Ricky Bobby.
And so finally he got tired and he passed out. And I remember he took I think he had all the couch cushions off. And I think he had a fort at one time, but he was laying on top of the couch cushions with his butt up in the air, and it just his whitey tighties are sticking out, right? So BJ and I are still playing video games, and all of a sudden I'm like, what is that smell? It was rank. It was a horrible smell. I look at BJ, we both look over at Brady. He was farting in his sleep, just letting off these rank farts just in his whitey tighties. Basically naked, farting while we're playing video games. Stinking up the room.
I hope nobody hears this from his congregation.
Oh, I hope they do. That'll be.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I might send it to their Facebook page.
That was so funny that night because it was a Sunday night. On Sunday nights we usually had pizza after church, and Josh came over. It was the summertime, so we were staying up late. And yeah, Brady was being a good sport, but yeah, he got tired, and it was, and we just started cackling. I mean, because we started hearing it, and it's like, oh my gosh. But I think to this day he still denies that. I don't think he thinks that actually happened. But
I thought you were going to say he still farts in his sleep.
He probably does. Yeah, he probably does. We'll just say that he does for sure.
It's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Well, Josh, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for coming on, and thanks for listening. But we do some sports picks. You're a sports fan. You want to pick some games with us tonight?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I don't ever
last week. I mean, this Cowboys Denver thing. Let's just get it out of the way. All right, Denver won. They got lucky.
Yeah.
We'll just call it good.
They got lucky. They won by 20 points. So yeah, whatever.
You just sometimes you just trip and fall into things. That's how it works.
Yeah, for sure. So just on the other level of this, so like we have a family fantasy league with like my nephews and my kids, and so this year we needed an extra team because we had somebody drop out. I can't remember who. Oh, now I do. Yeah. So I asked my wife if she would want to play, and she's like, "No, I don't know anything about it. I don't want to play." I said, "We need another person. Will you just please do it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll do it if you help me." So she's playing fantasy football in our league this year, and she has no clue what to do. But she has Bo Nix as her quarterback, and I'm playing her this week. We both didn't set our lineups, and we both have like 3 or 4 guys out on bye. But she has Bo Nix, so she was killing me. So
I have Bo Nix on my bench, so that
there you go. Yeah,
tells me how good I am.
For those of you that can't read between the lines, Denver destroyed Dallas 44-24 today, and that was good. So
first game for Dak to have. That's what the stat was that I was trying to think of last week. That he had gone 3 games or 4 games without throwing an interception until he threw 9 of them today.
Yeah, that's good. Well, and here's the thing: Denver's won 9 in a row at home, and that's just a good stat to have there. So we were, just to recap a little bit. I don't know all of the scores; we didn't do that, but yeah, we lost the F1 issue, and we should have an errors and omission segment on this, but it's our podcast, and we really don't care. So.
Well, it's called the grid, not the field.
Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, we both picked Max, and he didn't win today, so that's fine.
Unbelievable.
We both picked the Dodgers Friday. They lost. That was a great game, by the way. I don't know if you watched it at all, but Grand Slam in the World Series, that's a pretty good game. Toronto won the first game. Dodgers won the second game, so I got that one right. So I think I'm the only one that has points this week in our picks. We both had Nebraska. They didn't cover by half a point. Yeah, so I didn't see the other results, so I can't go.
Oregon beat Wisconsin.
But they didn't beat them by the 33.
Not 30. No, it was 21-7.
Yeah, so we lost the point spread on that one. So I got 5 games for us to pick. We got a couple NFL games. Josh is with us, so we're going to pick the Lions game. I'm going to save that one right before the Nebraska game because we save our best ones for last here. So we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and pick the Denver game again this coming week. Denver goes to Houston. They just come off this win against the Cowboys. They go to Houston to play the Texans, and they're favored on the road by 1.5.
And they're not at home. They're going to lose. They're going to lay an egg.
Okay, so Josh, what's really going to happen?
Well, they beat San Francisco today, didn't they? I think they did.
Houston did?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, Denver by 10.
Hey, that's a good score. I like that.
I told you last week I don't like to bet on Denver, but I'm going to go Denver again. I think Denver. I told my kid. I told Elliot because he's a Bronco fan too. I said Denver could easily start the year like 4-4 and then end up in the Super Bowl. The way their schedule was shaking out, and they're doing better than that. So I'm going to ride the Denver train. I'm going Denver. Justin, I know you're going Houston. So
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, good deal. So let's go to the biggest point spread. We'll save the other NFL game for later. The biggest point spread of the weekend is a game that I would want to pick because it's one of my college teams that I follow. And so, Justin, you already probably know where I'm going with this. The biggest point spread is 29.5 right now, and it is Notre Dame at Boston College. Notre Dame is favored by 29.5 points.
Jeez.
So,
are they going to fire their coach too? Jeez.
Boston College or Notre Dame?
No, everybody. I think everybody's just going to fire all their coaches.
Yeah, that's true. Probably.
Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
Josh, I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, I'll stick with the team.
You think they're going to cover the 29.5 points?
Is it at Boston College, right?
Notre Dame, go Irish. It's at Boston College, yeah.
I'm picking a Catholic school.
So.
Yeah, I think they'll.
Yeah,
I'm picking a Catholic. I'm picking a Catholic school to cover.
Okay. Okay, so we got Notre Dame across the board. Good deal. We're going to another game that's interesting to me that I didn't give this caveat. I don't know that I did, but I haven't told them what games we're picking, so they're picking blindly here.
I have no idea.
The other college game I'm picking is a pick'em game. Really, it's 1.5 point spread, but it's one again that matters to me. I know it doesn't matter to you guys, but Army is going to Colorado Springs to play Air Force. Army at Air Force. Air Force is favored by 1.5 points at home, and I'm going to go with my favorite academy, and I'm going Air Force on this one to win.
They lost to Hawaii when I was in Colorado Springs a few weeks ago.
Air Force did?
Yeah. Not very good.
It's hard to beat the Rainbow Warriors.
Is that PC still?
I don't. I think they changed it. I think they changed
Warriors.
it. They used to be the Rainbow Warriors, but anyway. Justin, who you got?
I'll say Air Force.
Good job.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yep, we'll go home team.
All right. And Elliot still likes you both because you're picking his academy. So
does he even listen to even know if we're?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't listen anymore. So
it's because he hates me. I got it. Let him know.
All right. So we got this next one we'll go back to the NFL real quick for Josh's team here. And I'll let Josh tell us a little bit about your team. We got Minnesota. So it's a divisional game. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit, coming off the bye week, is favored by 7.5 over Minnesota. Josh, tell us why you like your Lions.
Oh man, like I said, it always started with Barry Sanders, right? I always have a soft spot for receivers. Herman Moore was a big receiver when Barry Sanders was playing that era, so I liked him. Now we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a stud.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, go across the middle. He can block. It's pretty awesome.
You got Sonic and Knuckles.
For sure, Sonic and Knuckles. Dual threat. I think it's going to be the Lions, but I think it's going to be more. What'd you say, 7?
7.5, yeah.
I think it's going to be more than 7.5.
Yeah, so you got the Lions to cover?
Yeah, Lions to cover. I think Minnesota's kind of beat up a little bit. They're not playing too great right now. So
Minnesota almost lost on the bye week. That's how bad it
is. Well, but it is a divisional game, and Minnesota plays Detroit tough. Detroit, they had a rocky start to the year, but they lost both their coordinators in the offseason, but I think they're picking it back up. I'm with Josh on this one. I'm going Detroit by 2 touchdowns, easy.
So sure, same. Justin, no, I'm picking the Lions. Yeah,
Lions.
Yeah, no, I like their offense. It puts up a lot of numbers.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, one last game. It's the one that Justin and I talk about every week. I know Josh probably doesn't care at all, but that's all right. He can pick with us.
He just hung up.
I remember. Okay, here's one final story about moving from Colorado to Lincoln. Like, I didn't want to go at first. I didn't want to go at all. I was mad. I was mad at my dad. My dad first told me about us moving on a Wednesday night after I had preached in youth group. So I'm like on cloud 9. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And then I get in the car to go home, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about moving?" I'm like, No, I don't want to move. But went on a jeeping trip with the Huffs and the Hawkins, and God got a hold of my heart and helped me to know it was going to be all right. And I'm thankful for that. But I remember one of the last Sunday nights we were there, I wore a Husker shirt to church, and I upset some people by doing that, and so I do apologize for that. But USC Trojans going into Lincoln. Lincoln is an underdog in this game. USC is favored by 6.5 points. Justin, I'll come to you last. Josh, are you going to go with the home show here and go with the Huskers, or who you going with, the Trojans or USC?
Oh, definitely the Trojans. Go Trojans.
Go Trojans. Go Trojans. All right.
So this week at with Northwestern coming in, I saw the halftime. I was just watching the score because Elliot had some basketball games, and so we were at basketball games, and that's a whole nother story for side conversation, Justin.
Okay.
But I looked at the score at halftime, and it was, as the kids say, 6-7.
6-7. I don't even know what that means. Stupidest thing.
And I'm just
Whatever.
like, this is not. And then I heard about the post game press conference that head coach Matt Rule had about playing for the fans and playing for each other, and this is the fight that we have to show, and all of this stuff. And I'm like, I've heard all the national people continue to say he's still going to Penn State. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know. This is a game that if they win this game, then they should still be in the talk of being legit. But I don't know. I'm gonna say it because I picked them to go undefeated, and I'm wrong about that. But I'm gonna go Nebraska to win the game. Justin, tell us your expert opinion on your Huskers.
Nebraska wins by 10. I mean, it is a big game. It's after coming off of the horrible game against Minnesota, they had to put together something, but they didn't look that great against Northwestern. But they never play very well against Northwestern. We always seems like we play down to the smart kids, I guess. That's why the N on the side of the helmet stands for knowledge. So it is the big game that they were hoping that they would get for night game. Nebraska's wearing alternate black uniforms for a blackout, so they're kind of going against tradition, which is interesting for a Husker fan, but
doesn't bode well for them either when they've gone against tradition.
Not typically. No.
Yeah.
No. But at least they call for a blackout during a night game versus trying to do it during a day game, which is always kind of weird. But
if they really wanted to do a true blackout, then every time
turn off the lights,
gets the ball, they should turn the lights.
Turn off lights. Yeah. Just everybody play with their camera lights on their phone. But no, Nebraska by 10.
Nebraska by 10.
I mean, yeah. It's going to be a test. Our offensive line has some trouble, but we say this all the time. We're really good at being armchair quarterbacks, but I sit there and I wish I had a direct line to the offensive coordinator sometimes. And I joke with my other friend group on a group text message of Husker fans, and I'm like, this always works on PlayStation. It doesn't matter what year of college football, it's always worked. If you need to get the ball out faster, you got to do these set of plays. I wish we just had like a quick message so we can get to the OC to figure this out, but whatever. They know better. They know how to get hired and get fired and make millions of dollars, and I'm envy of that, I guess.
Yeah.
We're up to almost over $200 million of coaches being fired because they just fired Brian Kelly tonight.
Wow. So coaches that have been fired are still getting paid $200 million this year.
Supposedly right now. Well, close to. It's like $170 million to not coach.
That's monopoly.
Isn't that stupid?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what we get. We're turning into pros, but anyways.
Yep. Well, Josh, what else do you have before we close out tonight? What do you want the world to know?
Call your mom. Tell your dad you love them. Like your kids.
Yeah.
Take every moment. It's hard, it's cliche, but I mean, it just passes so fast. And keep God first.
That's right. Yep,
definitely.
World seems like it's getting crazier and crazier, faster and faster.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to keep our eyes on Him and stay strong.
Awesome. Justin, what about you? What do you got to say, man? I'm going to take the last word since it's our podcast.
This is your podcast, yeah. This is the BJ podcast. We renamed it. I'm going to
said
rename it
ours.
this week.
I said ours.
It's okay. I mean, Josh, you hit it right there. It's crazy to see what's going on in the world, reading things, how things are changing, never, faster. But sometimes we tend to forget that, our family, faith family, and, our close friends and stuff, those are the ones that you should have that invest in your time in. And so, get yourself refocused if you need to kind of get back to that and know what's important to you. So, but yes, definitely sitting around and just as we get older every day, just seeing how, life can be short pretty quick. So, yeah, get a hold of those ones that you haven't talked to in a while. Definitely.
Yeah, that's so true. I think about those moments. If you feel prompted to reach out or say something, do it. It doesn't matter. As Josh and I were talking not too long ago, it doesn't matter how long time has passed. When it's people you care about, people you love, you pick up right where you left off, and it's always good to hear from them. So if somebody comes to mind as you're listening to this, and maybe you haven't talked to them in years, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's somebody you need to just reach out to and say, hey, do it. Life is short. That is very true. We don't know when our number is going to be called. So, but yeah, thank you, Josh, for coming on. Thank you for, man, so many good memories, so many good times, and so many good laughs. And thank you for sharing your dad with me and sharing your family. Thanks for making me a part of your family. That meant a lot. All those sleepovers. We talked about you coming over, but so many memories of being with you and your family, and at City Park at the pool with your mom and Bonnell, and I mean we could go on and on and on. But thank you for coming on. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being you, man. Proud of you.
So. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. It was fun. We'll have to do it again for sure. More stuff to talk about.
Awesome.
I'm just putting it out there right now. We talked about that youth group reunion that we had a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to keep that going. We're having a game night coming up here in December. We're all going to get back together again, have a game night here at our house. So that hopefully that should be fun. But I'm trying to plan something big for next year. So hopefully both of you guys can make it. It'd be awesome if Justin could come join us. But
I'm not going to be on the bottom of the dog pile, no matter what you say. Not happening.
But yeah, it's in the works. I'm thinking about trying to get something, and maybe we can get some of the outer staters that weren't here to do the short little local stuff. But yeah, we'll see.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, and it's so cool. You said this when we talked last. Just why is it that we were 10, 11, 12 years old? I mean, it was so long ago, and life has happened, and yet we remember the people that matter to us, and that's pretty important. And it's like you said, it's still happening as you guys get together. And yeah, I told you, I said, let's plan something far enough in advance and see if we can't make it happen. That'll be cool. So
for sure.
Good deal. Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for being on tonight. Everybody, thanks for listening. And as Josh said, and I'll echo it, keep looking up, keep trusting in him. He's the author and finisher of our faith. We'll see you next time.
See ya.